There are things in this world that are legal, and there are things that are illegal. But then, there are things that are legally illegal or illegally legal. Sounds like a philosophical debate at 3 a.m. after 3 Red Bulls, right? But it's real. Actions that make zero sense to common sense, but are totally fine by law. Like in some US states, it's illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork. Yes, that's an actual law, created to preserve Southern tradition. So technically, if you eat your KFC with a fork in Gainesville, you're a criminal, Sarah. But here's the twist. Law isn't always about logic. It's about language, loopholes, and legacy. That's where the gray area begins. This bizarre space where right and wrong don't always align with legal and illegal. Where corporations dodge billions in taxes legally, while a teenager faces jail for downloading a song. Once you start looking into how weird the rules really are, you'll start questioning everything you thought you knew about law. And with all that in mind, here are 6 actions that should be illegal but actually are legal. The phantom followers. It begins with something so common it's almost invisible. You're scrolling through your social media feed. A new gadget has tens of thousands of glowing reviews. A political opinion you've never heard before is suddenly trending, backed by a torrent of passionate supporters. A new brand seems to have exploded in popularity overnight. Our brains are wired to see this as social proof, a sign of quality, of consensus, of truth. But in the digital economy, this consensus is now a commodity. It can be bought, sold, and faked on an industrial scale. This is the world of phantom following and manufactured engagement. It goes far beyond a few simple bots. We're talking about sprawling international click farms, where low-paid workers manage thousands of fabricated personas. We're talking about sophisticated AI, programmed to mimic human conversation, to argue in comment sections, and to slowly, methodically, push a narrative into the mainstream. The deception is layered. It's not just that a product's popularity is fake, it's that this fake popularity can attract real investors. A legitimate, better product can be drowned out and fail. It's not just that a political idea has fake support, it's that this manufactured trend can be picked up by real news outlets, presented as a genuine grassroots movement, and ultimately influence public discourse and even elections. It is a complete subversion of trust. And yet, short of direct impersonation or financial fraud, creating a million digital ghosts to tell the world you're popular is, for the most part, perfectly legal. It's the architecture of modern propaganda, hidden behind a terms of service agreement. The wellness gamble. Let us talk about the wellness industry. An empire built on the promise of optimization. The industry that sells all those vitamins, powders, and pills that promise to make us healthier. When you see them in a store, they look official. The bottles are clean and have scientific-sounding words on them. They sit right next to actual medicines, so it's easy to think they are just as safe and regulated. But here's the big secret. They're not. Think of it this way. Before a real drug, like a prescription medicine, can be sold, it must go through years of strict government testing to prove 2 things. It is safe to use, and it actually works. Dietary supplements get to completely skip this process. Just let that digest for a minute. That simply means a company can create a new supplement and start selling it immediately, without ever having to prove to the government that it's safe or that it does what it claims. The responsibility is entirely on the company making it. You, the customer, are just expected to trust them. This is also why the labels use clever, vague wording. They are legally forbidden from saying their product can cure, treat, or prevent any disease. But they can say it supports immune health or promotes a calm mood. These phrases sound good, but they are not medical promises, which allows them to stay on the shelves without being tested like real medicine. The consequences of this regulatory void can be severe. A fat burner supplement might contain a powerful, unlisted stimulant that causes heart palpitations. A sleep aid could contain ingredients that clash dangerously with prescription medication. Or, in the best case scenario, a memory booster might contain nothing more than dust and wishful thinking. You, the consumer, are the final test subject in a vast, unregulated public experiment. A Tale of Two Ledgers. Every year, millions of citizens gather their paperwork and meticulously calculate what they owe. It's a civic duty, a legal obligation. But for a select group of the world's wealthiest individuals and corporations, the process is radically different. Their goal is not to calculate what they owe, but to engineer a reality where they owe as little as possible. This isn't tax evasion, the crude, illegal act of hiding money. No, this is tax avoidance, a sophisticated art form that uses the law itself as its primary medium. The strategies are complex, often bearing esoteric names like the double Irish with the Dutch sandwich. In essence, they allow a company to make billions in profit in a high-tax country, and then, through a series of internal transactions between its own subsidiaries, legally shift those profits to a different country, a tax haven where the tax rate is close to zero. They set up shell corporations with no employees and no real office, which exist only as a mailing address in a file cabinet, a legal, fictional mailbox designed only to hold wealth. The result is a hole in the public budget amounting to hundreds of billions of dollars globally every year. This isn't just an abstract number or a number on a page. It's the hospital wing that doesn't get built. It's the university research grant that is denied. It's the crumbling bridge that a town can no longer afford to fix. It is a direct transfer of wealth from the public purse to private hands, facilitated by laws that critics argue were influenced by the very entities that benefit from them.